now appears, despite a media freak out, that the dreaded Omicron variant, while being very contagious, is less virulent than thought. So I'm thinking, gee, maybe all the unvaccinated people will get a mild case of COVID and that'll make us fully vaccinated. But perhaps that's a tad cynical. But my question is, what's the good balance, right? Because we have some, liberal people want to have vaccine mandates. We want to have conservatives ban them, requiring schools to have masks, banning them, all this stuff. You're a pragmatic person. That's what we do on this show. What do you think is a good balance where you understand that we can't have lockdowns again? You understand that people need to get on with their lives, but you also have to balance safety and what's best for the general population. Sometimes is more important than what's best for individuals.
Well, yeah, I love, yes, we're pragmatically political here. I think the two main things that we have to consider are the Constitution and then health. And I think that when you look constitutionally, a lot of the mandate, jurisprudence that they're trying to invoke is based on a Supreme Court case for the smallpox, where they were requiring in Massachusetts a smallpox vaccine in 1905. But the penalty then was only $5, which is about $160 today, which is, de minimis compared to job loss or much more extreme measures if you're not getting it. I think that the untold issue of these mandates is the testing option to say, okay, let's find a middle ground here. Okay, maybe your doctor, because I'm generally, I think the set here, or the preset, or sort of the default, should be to get the vaccine. But sometimes in some cases you shouldn't get it. I mean, I got the vaccine, but I actually had side effects. I had significant hair loss. I was getting these fistfuls of hair loss, which I was shocked. I also had my lymph nodes were swelling, and I asked my doctor, and she said, yeah, I've had other patients with this too. So I think, talking with your healthcare provider, making sure it is the best thing for you, carefully monitoring any, side effects, and encouraging people to do it. But I think giving people the testing option and getting taxpayer support for testing, that would be something I would be much more for versus a blanket universal vaccine mandate. What about you?
Well, I agree. I think one of the things that's sad is we've been doing vaccines for generations, right? And there's never been an issue. And only under the previous administration did wearing masks get politicized. And one of the unfortunate things about populism is that it means going after elites. And there's no one more elite than the scientific and the medical community. So I think there's a mistrust that has been sowed. And let's face it, being fair, the CDC and a lot of government organizations and Dr. Fauci and the rest have dropped the ball by being inconsistent. Some of it was their fault because the science evolves. Other of it was their fault because it was handled poorly. But having said all that, I agree. And I think that this freak out over vaccine mandates, what people don't often mention is that you can get tested every week. What's the big deal, right? Fine, go to work, just get tested every week. But people make it sound like if you don't get vaccinated, you're going to get fired. In most of these cases, that's not true. So I think we just need to take a collective deep breath. I agree with you. The person people trust the most is their doctor. So they should talk to their doctors and they should get what's best for them. And I think that would get a lot more people vaccinated. I do think as more people get it, as the cases are milder and more people do get vaccinated, we're creeping towards herd immunity. So we will get there sometime in 22.
I'm with you there.